Rams and the Seahawks. Oh my God, football is so freaking awesome. I mean, watching that
I'm
game
excited,
on
you're
Thursday,
excited.
it just was cool. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
And on Thursday night, I want to start in the NFC West. This is the wild, wild West, hence the barn doors opening. I mean, this division is still wide open at this point. Jules, I want to start with you. What was your reaction to that game on Thursday, and sort of what does it mean moving forward in this division?
First thing, it was probably the most exciting Thursday night football game I have ever watched. So kudos to you guys for having an unbelievable game.
We had a lot to do with it.
Yeah, you guys did. Great
They
pick.
put the matchup together.
But also, two things that stick out. The turnovers for Sam Darnold in the important game, even though he had some really great throws at the end of the game, that 7 route to Cooper Kupp was unbelievable. Gotta have it situation. And then once again, we're talking about the special teams for the LA Rams. Top 5 in offense, top 5 in defense, and the special teams lost them 3 games this year. I mean, I know they took care, they fired their coach. I know that's a lot, but once you do that, there's no one in the building that's going to do anything any different. So I think this could hurt them going into the playoffs.
Still being a problem, even with firing their coach.
Yes.
Yeah, with me, looking at the Seahawks and, talk about the special teams, Rashid Shaheed, he's the one that was the catalyst, for the comeback. And when I look at him and I look at their offense, I'm like, they got to find a way to get this guy involved in the offense sooner, and not just as a gadget guy. And then the other thing I looked at is a coaching thing. And, you really people don't really pay attention to it. But at the end of the game, when they were going for the last 2-point conversions of the many that they got in that game, McVay calls a timeout. He wants to see, what the offenses are going to run. And then Mike McDonald, he calls a timeout to see what the defense is going to do.
Uh-oh.
But he didn't stop there.
One more.
He called another timeout, right? Because
Kodak.
we want to get Kodak.
Kodak, you got to take a picture of what they did.
Know what they're going to do, right? Because you want to get in the perfect play for this 2-point conversion because they have made up their mind. We're going for 2. We're going for the win. This isn't about trying to tie the game up and extend this overtime. We are going for the win right now. And so the wide delay, tight ends wide open, they get themselves to a perfect call. So kudos to the coaching. That is a coaching element that you have to have, and Mike McDonald and his staff did a tremendous job.
Coaching matters.
And 2 things there also for Shaheed. I remember the week of the trade deadline, John Schneider, that whole week was trying to get that done. Like, that's the guy he targeted whole week, and he was and the Saints were like, well, we got this, and we got this, and that was the guy who was locking in on.
And Clint Kubiak
was with them.
Their relationship.
And the other thing also about that 2-point conversion, which they went and overturned, a couple minutes later, every head coach I've talked to said, we have told all our players, we use that as a teachable moment.
Yeah,
you see a ball on the ground, any situation, jump on that ball. Not just there, any situation.
And good things will happen.
I know we got to move on, but just Sam Darnold, for him to get over that hump, because if he didn't, can you imagine all of the headlines the next day that he couldn't get the job done? And poor Matthew Stafford, you throw for 457 yards and you still lose. All right, another great game. We got an NFC East matchup between the Commanders and the Eagles yesterday. So the Eagles win. So their first back-to-back NFC East champs in over 2 decades. Because there's so much turnover in that division. Charles, your thoughts on the Eagles win, and can they make noise in the playoffs moving forward?
Yeah, I think so. Congrats to them for doing something that hadn't been done in 20 years. But they can do damage in the playoffs as long as they have what they had yesterday. And that's having Saquon Barkley rush for over 100 yards. That was the thing that set them apart last year, him busting out 30-yard runs, 40-yard runs. You saw him run through tackles yesterday and scoring touchdowns. And so as long as they can get that, they can win games. And then also, somebody's been quiet the last few weeks. We haven't heard anything from A.J. Brown. Why is that?
He be getting the ball.
He's getting the ball, baby. 10 targets a game the last 6 games. So as long as you have things are quiet there and Saquon Barkley is rushing for over 100 yards, then the Eagles are right where they want to be.
Well, Charles, if they continue to play like that, I think they're going to have a problem in the playoffs because they open the game with a miscue, the fumble on the kickoff. There's another kickoff. Do they come out? Do I not come out? They get smoked on the 17-yard line, and they missed a few field goals with Elliott.
But they just seem to overcome those things.
They overcome
all
that,
the time.
and that's the thing about the Philadelphia Eagles. Whenever there's a distraction, wherever there's noise from outside, they always seem to be able to ignore it and find a way to win games, and it's been really impressive. Congratulations to them going back-to-back. First time in 20 years, like Charles said.
I thought it was going to go downhill once they put the bunny in the locker room. I thought it was over.
Almost did. And by the way, Hope is on the way for that running game you're talking about because Lane Johnson, if it was a playoff game, he would have gone. And they're a totally different team without him. Not even close. He'll end up playing this coming week.
Let's go.
Bears-Packers.
Jalen Carter as well.
Yeah,
Bears-Packers, an unbelievable game. I mean, those two teams. teams, as we know, do not like one another.
Yeah.
Packers, of course, on the losing end of this thing. It came down to the very end. Sort of, what's the take? I know you spoke to Matt LaFleur.
Yeah. Well, no. So last night during the game, I'm on the phone with the GM, right? And he's sitting there saying, man, what Matt LaFleur has done with Malik Willis from before he got there to after, his footwork, his fundamentals, everything. And he's like, there's not a lot of quarterback teachers out there.
Mm-hmm.
And Matt LaFleur is one of the best there possibly is in the league. There's only a few of them out there. The Sean McVays, Kyle Shanahan, Kevin O'Connell, and LaFleur. Phenomenal job there. But also the injuries that they have had to deal with. I think we're probably 2 minutes away from saying Matt LaFleur got to be talked about as Coach of the Year, because of overcoming all these injuries with Micah and Jordan Love going down and Josh Jacobs being hurt and all their tight ends and all their linemen and their receivers, right?
Reminiscent of the San Francisco 49ers.
Exactly.
They come from the same tree.
Which is exactly why he shouldn't be on the hot seat. Any kind of conversation about Matt LaFleur.
Listen, if he is, he'll be, because there's not a lot of offensive candidates out there also. He'll fly to the top. And rightfully, I mean, he's the guy there, especially with Jordan Love. And they've overcome a lot there.
Absolutely. On the other side, the Bears. Hey, 6 fourth-quarter comebacks for this team, and just the maturation of Caleb Williams under Ben Johnson, Charles.
Absolutely. And this team, the whole entire team, along with Caleb Williams, they are just playing with so much confidence right now. They feel like they can win every game. And when I look at the Chicago Bears team and the way they started the game, running the football. This team can run the football. And so I got just a little bit of advice for Ben Johnson. I feel bad for giving a Bear some advice, but sometimes he gets in these situations. He's such a good coach. He has so many great plays that I think sometimes he outthinks it or outsmarts himself. That 4th and 1 on the goal line, you run the tight end in there, then you're going to hike it between this. Like, just run the ball. You have been running the football. You know, a couple weeks ago.
You got 2 great backs, and Monungai and Swift.
2 great backs. A couple weeks ago, they had the play where he threw the interception. He had been running the ball on the Packers. Just run the ball. Let's show that we're tough. We can run the football. And then I feel like, you know, they would put themselves in better position going forward. Sometimes just keep it simple for Ben Johnson.
Keep it simple.
Yeah, and there's got to be something said about the clutchness of Caleb right now. Like, this guy's 7-2 in one-score games this year. With all the noise we heard in the offseason, all the noise we heard last year, he's really come through in 4 to 6 plays a game when they need him, and he makes the play. And then also, Dobbs on the onside kick. For all you young hands team players, it's like fielding a ground ball. You see that short hop, you got to charge that thing. You can't let it get back up on you. That's the most exciting play in football. There's only, there's 6 out of 48 onside kicks.
He let that thing get one too many rotations, didn't he?
And one too many. But once you get that onside kick, was there a doubt that the Chicago Bears were not going to win that game?
Oh,
man. That was
and they were exhausted before it.
So fun to watch that.
But again, similar to the NFC West, this division, the NFC North, the Bears are the 2 seed right now with 2 games to go, and they could maybe not make the playoffs. The Packers could also not make the playoffs.
Ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. It's why we watch every single week.
Best reality show on TV.
Sure is.